It's a sweeping shakeup for the world's biggest oil exporter. Saudi Arabia's King Salman has replaced his younger half-brother as crown prince with his nephew Mohammed bin Naif Al Saud. He also named his son Mohammed bin Salman deputy crown prince. It's good to be the prince, elevating him to second in line to the throne. This reshuffle comes at a challenging time for the kingdom, with oil prices at record lows and rising Islamic extremism in the region. Sean Brodrick is a natural resources analyst with the Oxford Club, and he joins us to talk more about how the Saudi secession has created uncertainty in the oil markets. Welcome to Rise Exchange. Thank you for spending a few minutes with us.
Hey, thanks very much for having me on.
Just walk through the politics of what happened today and why this caught many by surprise.
Well, yes, I mean, there was a replacement at the top, but yeah, that kind of surprises people, but they're a very tight-knit group over there, so things happen sometimes. But that's not the real story. The real story is that the same royal decree made a guy who, runs Aramco, which is the big oil company over there, it actually bumped him up. Mm-hmm. And so now he is part of a government, and he reports directly to the oil minister over there. Now, their oil minister is extremely important, and he's 79 years old. And he's been oil minister for a long time, but he was crucial in that country's decision last November not to cut production in support of prices. My view is he's probably going to retire soon. They're kind of preparing the stage for that. And when he steps out, the new guy steps in, and then we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, and do you think that there's going to be a change in policy here? You mentioned he's 79 years old. There's not a lot of youngsters running Saudi Arabia. But do you see a change in policy? They are under pressure, especially from other OPEC countries, to cut production to raise prices.
Yeah, and they're pretty much thumbing their noses at them because
Absolutely.
The last time OPEC said, let's all cut production, Saudi Arabia said, okay, we'll do it. And they did, and the other countries didn't. So the Saudis got burned that time. They aren't going to do it again. And they can keep producing at very low prices. And so will the new guy change that? Probably not. It just puts a little uncertainty in the market because once he comes in, he's probably going to continue the other guy's stuff for a while, but I'm sure he'll have ideas of his own.
But, Sean, Saudi Arabia kind of likes its place in the world right now, doesn't it? It's basically thumbing its nose at the United States in an effort to drive down prices here. It hates Iran, so it wants to keep prices low there. And it's sort of picking on Russia because of Russia's support with Syria.
Well, yeah, I think that it likes where it is now. In fact, recent statements from the Saudis kind of put things in perspective. They said that the oil market is in excellent condition, that they see strong demand from Asia, which is probably true because as we have low prices, that usually increases demand, and also that they will supply China with, quote, any additional quantities of crude that China may need. And I find that fascinating. Any additional quantities? What the Saudis are saying is, if you think we're pumping now, you haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting statement that you just said. It thinks that China's going to need more, and it's willing to ramp up production to meet it at whatever price.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
And so, I mean, when you look at that, and also they're making other changes as well. So I think we're going to see more crude from Saudi Arabia on the market. They're really worried that when the sanctions on Iran end, that'll bring more oil on the market there. They want to have market share when that happens. So that's what they're really protecting right now.
Okay, Sean Brodrick with the Natural Resources Analyst at Oxford Club. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure. You bet.
Coming up, a squatter at Martha's Vineyard is our favorite person of the day. You're watching Rise Exchange.